You've got to wait this out. If you want to short it now that you think we've confirmed the pivot break, then you need the next sell set up. You need to let this rally up and the next sell set up you're going to short. Or this has to give you a pause and a GBI, the 8 catches up and you trap underneath that pivot that you broke, trap 440, then it breaks down. Do not short, I'll say this again 100 times over. One day it'll stick. Do not short the multiple bar drop that breaks the pivot. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th bars, you're late. You should have been short there. You missed it. You're chasing it at this point. Until you get another confirmation, you missed it. Let it go. At or near the MA. Is that at or near the 8? No. Is that at or near the 20? No. Is that at or near the 2? No. It is away from everything. Why are you shorting now? Oh, because now I see the 3rd bar. I can see the trend. You're late. Start recognizing the pattern when it triggers. That's when it triggered, right there. Okay, so now at this point, if it can't go lower, if this fails, look at the pivot right there. It's barely underneath it, right? That's the pivot low. That's the closed bar. If this cannot break 440, what's going to happen? It's going to go the other way. This should give you another 4th, 5th bar, GBI, break the low, right? That's set up to break down. But if it doesn't, it's going the other way. Look at it right there. Little poke through, little poke, and then nope. Right? At that very moment, you thought you had it. Right there was a tiny little red. It was just a baby bar. Look, it's like, oh, here I go, Danny. We're gonna break the low. And then more people are shorting. It's the 4th bar. They're like, yeah, we're gonna short the 4th bar down. Whoops. Okay, then we had this crazy bar, this wild volatility that stopped us out, stopped me out anyway, break even hit. And then I said, I don't trust it. I don't think it's going to go low, but let's wait till we're getting confirmation. If not, as soon as we can get a chance to get back in, we're going to get back in long. And there we go. Do not short multi. And the same with a long. You don't buy the 4th bar up. Like right here, this would have been the worst buy of the day you could have done. Right? Watch. This is the mistake that's made all the time by developing traders. And I don't know why it's made. I mean, I made it, and I don't remember why. You know, I did it, but I think what happens is you don't recognize the pattern early enough. So by the time you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, there it is. You're so late, you don't realize it. Like you didn't recognize it when it happened. Your timing is off. So you're waiting for so much confirmation. You're so scared to be wrong. You want so much assurance that you're right that you don't take it. Right? So here's what happens, for example. Right, so you see all this failing and you're like, oh my God, this thing is just going to die on the vine. Like it gapped up, it's fallen down like $8, like holy crap. And it's just a little retracement of the gap. Again, I'm not suggesting you play Dash. I'm just taking this for proving this lesson, this pattern recognition point. Okay, that's the trigger. Right then and there, right now. If you're going long, you better be in right there. Break of that high, stop under that low. That's your triggered event. That's what you were stalking it for. Okay? If you're not in now, you're not playing long. Leave it alone. And what new traders do, or scared traders do, is they go, okay, it's definitely holding that buy setup. I'm ready to get in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No! You're so late, it's not even funny. And then if you really want the confirmation, now what you're looking at is this. You're like, yeah, and there's the resistance. And if it breaks that pivot, it's really going to go. So then the next bar, you know, we'll do this, and you'll freaking buy it right there. It's unbelievable to me. But I did it too. And then you look back at it like, what the hell are you doing, dude? It's the 6th bar up. It's the widest bar at the end of the move. And you're going to buy it now? At 108, you weren't sure. At 110, you weren't sure. At 112, I don't know. Is it really? At 116, all right, you know what? I'm convinced it's going to rally. $8, you're $8 later. Now you're ready to buy? You are so late, it's not even funny. But that's what happens, and then you buy, and then that happens, and then you tell me the buy setup didn't work. Who told you to buy the 5th bar away from the MA? So yes, I did it too. I think, what I really think after teaching it and reviewing it with people, I think it's you want so much confirmation in the beginning that you're right. Like you're so afraid of being wrong and so afraid of not reading it correctly that you hesitate, you wait, you want to be sure, and then by the time you're sure, it's because it's pretty much completed the move. Right? Like, yeah, you're sure now because there's 5 bars of follow through. For 30 minutes, it's been going up since the entry. So yeah, you're pretty sure you were right. The problem is you needed to make the decision back here. That's always the issue. Yep, you're right, but now's not the time to get in. So you'd have to wait for what? The next buy setup. You'd have to be hoping that it pulls back, catches the 8, and you get another shot. Or it makes the high, breaks out, pulls back, holds a higher low, and then that's your entry. So you get caught in if we just do a basic market cycle, right? So a basic market cycle is what? Rally, pullback, rally, pullback, rally, right? That's just a basic trending market cycle. So what happens is you need to learn how to spot that pattern setup and the trigger there, right? You need to recognize, okay, the pullback happened, it held, it's triggering. Not here. Like that's waiting way too long. Like this is the trigger. This is when you feel good. Like, okay, yeah, it's definitely following through. So I'm going to get in now. The problem is the cycle's due for the next pullback. So you end up buying it right there and it fails. You're like, oh, crap. And then you get out, right? And then you get out like right about there. And then it turns again. And you're like, oh, man, I knew it. So then you let it rally again. And then you buy it there because now you're sure that it held. And then it turns over and then you say, oh, it was wrong. And you get out right there. And you're constantly on the wrong side of that thing. Right? You're constantly on the wrong side of the market cycle. And then you say it doesn't work. So I think part of it is needing so much confirmation and so unsure that by the time you see the confirmation, it's over. And the way I think it helps develop it, and I know for myself it did because as I was teaching it, I used to have to do this all the time. So I started recognizing patterns better. And Oliver did tell me that. He goes, when you start teaching, it'll help you with your own stuff. And at first I thought it was horrible because I couldn't do 2 things at the same time. I couldn't teach and moderate and trade. So I'm like, this is making me worse, not better. But over time, he was right. And it's tremendous improvement when I started being able to do both. It slowed everything down, And now I can do like 5 things at the same time. It's like driving a car. You shouldn't do all the things you do when you drive, right? You're supposed to just focus on driving. But what do? You got hands-free headsets. You got your GPS up, checking your apps, putting on makeup. Guys are looking in the mirror at their new sunglasses, checking the hairstyle, making sure you look good, going to pick up your girl, right? We're doing everything but focusing on the road because we've been driving so long that we don't need to focus 100% of the time. We need to glance around, take a look at a few things. Okay, I'm good. Whether you do it consciously or not, that's how you drive. Your brain processes the current condition. You're like, all right, there's no immediate danger. And you kind of drift off in thought, or you check the radio station, if there's still radio stations anymore. I think everybody's on streaming music or satellite music. You check your phone, sometimes longer than you should. Shouldn't be doing that, but that's what people do. I mean, I pass people every day and their heads looking straight down in their lap. I'm like, good God. Your eyes aren't even up. If you're going to text on the phone and drive, at least put the damn phone up on the dashboard somewhere so that you're at least looking forward. When I see people looking down in their lap, I'm like, you might as well put a blindfold on for 5 seconds. Like, what are you doing? Now, guys are no different, man. I mean, girls just put makeup on because they wear makeup, but guys do other crap while they're driving. You know, and we all do it. I mean, maybe some of you don't, but I'm going to